And now it is time for one of my very favorite parts of Salon, because I learn something new every time I'm around Mark Janas, and this is his classical corner. Right. Enjoy.
For Elise, written supposedly for someone named Elise, we assume. But what's interesting, I've often commented that that's the piece that you hear in recitals where the kids never know how many there are, you know? What's weird is I looked up for Elise in Wikipedia a while back, and there was an example there. It had a little piano example, and I played it. And the person playing it didn't know how many there were. It's simply in 3, but the problem is it sounds like it's in 4. It sounds like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But it's really not. It's all in 3. It's 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. But there's that cadence that goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. But the person on Wikipedia went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Added an extra beat every time with that cadence. So you know how you can comment on Wikipedia? I commented. I said, this is really an amateurish mistake. Anyway, somebody took my comment down. But I said, don't listen to this recording because it's wrong. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, I listened recently and to something else, and it was luckily the right example. It was that Beethoven thing. Have you seen the Google Beethoven thing they were doing? You know the reason, don't you? Because last Thursday, which I think was the 16th, was the 16th or Wednesday? It was the 16th. It was Beethoven's 245th birthday. So happy birthday, Beethoven, 245 years old. What is it about Beethoven why is, we already know, right, what that is. 4 notes. 4, arguably the most recognizable 4 notes in the history of all of music. Because you can play that almost anywhere, and they know it's Beethoven. Just those 4 notes. And I was thinking, Beethoven is so strong with his beginning motives of pieces. You know, I mean... such strong instincts. And I was looking through the sonatas, and you just play these beginning themes. Every one so strong. What a great beginning. And then something like we call that the nervous breakdown sonata because its thirds are really hard. And it's I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. And of course, you know, such strong entrances and it's not even exactly a theme, it's a bunch of repeated notes. But it is a theme. But so inventive. And sometimes Beethoven's themes are not just the melody, they're dependent also on the rhythm and the harmony. For example, all these famous themes. so far the melodies have exactly one note, right? But yet it's so potent because of the harmony and that unstoppable rhythm. Such a potent idea, and such a simple idea. Beethoven, I think more than any other composer, had something which Bernstein called inevitability. What that means is that the note that follows each note seems to be the only and the best inevitable note to follow that note. And that's really what makes him magical and makes us all gravitate to him so strongly. When I was in college, I had the luck to study with a composing teacher named Bernard Haydn. That's H-E-I-D-E, and he was a student of Hindemith. And he was this great guy that looked like Clarabelle. You know, he had a bald head with fringe around the outside, and he wore glasses and squinted. You know, and you'd see him walking down the hall, and you'd go, "Hello, Dr. Haydn," and he'd go, "Hello," and you knew that he was thinking about his next symphony because he just looked so spaced out. But he was a smart guy, and he had us in groups of usually 4 in composition class, and we'd put all different groups together. So I was the freshman, usually, and then there was a junior, and then there was I think a master's student, and then a doctoral student. So we were all in the same class together, so you'd hear each other's pieces, and it was good because I got to hear the advanced things they were doing, and they got to be reminded of the counterpoint and the things that he was teaching me, which you always need a reminder, you know, to come back down to basics sometimes. But one of the greatest composition lessons that he ever taught was about Beethoven. And he came in and he was in this cheery mood, smiling, and he sat down at the piano and went, while he's playing, you know, he's going, "What is that?" Well, I didn't know, I'm afraid. So I kept my mouth shut, but so did the junior, so did the master student, so did the doctor student. And as he played, he kept going, "Oh, come on, what is that?" And he got louder. "Come on, what is that?" Finally, he went and slammed the lid down and said, "It is the third moment of the Beethoven 8th Symphony!" And he got up and walked out of the room, and that was the end of the lesson. That night, I was in the music library listening to Beethoven symphonies, as I noticed were all of my colleagues. So one of the best lessons I ever had. But I had the opportunity while at Indiana to participate in the chorus. You had to have some ensemble, and so you had to sing or do something. And if you're a pianist, there weren't as many opportunities, of course, as singers, because there were 400 piano majors at any given time at Indiana University. So there were 2,000 music students there in a given year, and 400 piano majors. So you have to do something with all those people who can read, but can't all play piano in an ensemble, right? So, I mean, obviously the violinists were playing in one of the 5 symphony orchestras that they have there. But we had to usually sing in choruses, and I got to sing in the chorus with Robert Shaw conducting, who came in to guest, and I actually got to play for some rehearsals even with him, which was amazing. But he did a great piece by Beethoven. One of the pieces he did, we did the Beethoven Ninth, we did the Brahms Requiem, but we also did a great piece called the Missa Solemnis, which is Beethoven's Solemn Mass. All I can say is that when I heard this piece for the first time, I was also listening in the library, and I got to the Gloria, the second part of the Mass, and when it finished, all I can remember is that tears were streaming down my face, just from the sheer magnitude and the sheer depth of this music, the sheer beauty of it. I'm going to play just a little bit of it if I can make this thing work. Let me see if I can do this. This is just the Gloria from the Missa Solemnis. Hope it will play. That's just the first 2 minutes of an 18-minute movement. And what's so fascinating about... Not again. Turn this off, sorry. Power it off, yes. Power off, Mark, okay. Okay, that'll stop. What's so interesting is that every piece of the Gloria, every single setting, you know, peace on earth, men of goodwill, every little setting, piece of the Gloria had a separate musical movement that moved on, and a quartet of singers like in the Ninth Symphony. So if you're around at Christmas and you're getting tired of chestnuts roasting on an open fire, not the chestnuts themselves, I mean the song. If you're getting tired of that, try the Beethoven Missa Solemnis. Just put it on in the background and be amazed by this great, great man who's 245 years old. So I thought I would share with you, I thought I'd play Fur-Elise Wright, and then maybe one other piece, which I think you'll know and enjoy, because they're two of Beethoven's greatest. But I could play so many themes that you would recognize by Beethoven. So many themes that you might not know what they were, but that you've heard. I could probably go through this list and you would recognize half of them. So a great man with a great ability to put the right note after the note before it. And boy, does that make a difference. Boy, does that separate the men from the boys when it comes to composers. All right, so here's Fur-Elise, which is actually a beautiful piece when you hear it not played by a 7-year-old who doesn't know how to think Elise is probably happy to get that. And I think I'll leave you with this, because this is, I think, most people's favorite Beethoven piano piece. hear you coming in.
Thank you.